Hi, I'm Raychel Adams. I'm doing my oral presentation on Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. He was a Baptist minister and he later became a civil rights activist. He was a speaker, he was a overworld Christian. He basically believed in everybody should be equal. He was the youngest male to win the Nobel Prize Peace Award. Sadly, he was assassinated at the age of 39. One of his quotes is, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." The Montgomery bus boycott was a boycott that Rosa Parks was a passenger on a local public transportation, and she had worked all day long. She was an African American female, and she was told to get out of her seat by a white male, and she refused, so she was actually arrested. And Martin Luther King Jr. took part in the boycott. He spoke for her, and he spoke as a whole for African Americans. The whole entire boycott lasted 385 days. The bus system actually lost 75% of their riders, and it caused them to later shut down. Because of Martin Luther King, he spoke in her place. There was a new law that was passed in effect that ended segregation on public buses. I have another quote that's from Martin Luther King. It says, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." This is a picture of Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks in a conference room. On August 28th, there was a speech given at the Lincoln Memorial. It was called "I Have a Dream." It was produced by Martin Luther King. He basically went on to explain in the speech how he feels everybody should be equal. And throughout the entire speech, he actually didn't go over any like note cards or anything. He pretty much came up with the whole thing right on the spot. His main point was to express the dream of children, and he believed that the children of all races should be able to link hands together. What made his speeches so powerful and moving was that he used a lot of repetition in them, and he made people remember things about him. And he often used things such as Bible verses and Bible stories to kind of relate things to it, so many people kind of were able to relate to it. And he also used quote phrases kind of such as "I have a dream" to make sure that everybody could remember it. And he had a lot of things that were involved in the speech, and he basically was just a great American. He spoke for multiple people. He was an African American, but he stood up for multiple people, no matter their age, race, sex, any of it. It didn't matter. He felt like everybody was equal, and during this time of the 1960s, there was a lot of segregation that went on, and he didn't believe that it should exist. And so he went through a lot of it to try and make all these laws that they were to separate the segregation away from people. He actually was assassinated at the age of 39, and it was pretty sad, but he believed that he wouldn't live to the age of 40. So dying right at 39, he pretty much got his point across, and actually ended helped towards the end of segregation on multiple things. I have another quote on here that says, "Let no man pull you low enough to hate him." Basically explaining that you shouldn't hate you shouldn't let somebody else bring you down, because you just should. So these are all my works cited pages. They're all there, yeah. And then this is a picture of Martin Luther King and towards the end of his career. And that is the end. Thank you.
Yay!